What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner New Year's resolution film. I don't really want to call them resolutions. I'm going to call them goals for 2015. Last year I did a very similar video, and I'm going to kind of tell you a bit about the results, check some things off that list, and create a new list for 2015. I think we can all do this. We can all set goals for ourselves, and there's no better time than right now. Ginger Runner. Alright, so let's go through last year's list. My first resolution was to stay healthy and injury-free. I had a couple of injuries, but I managed to stay healthy, so I actually managed to keep them under control and continue with training and racing. So it actually worked out okay, but I had to make sure that I took care of myself. PR the half marathon and full marathon distance. Well, I got 1 out of 2, so that's not so bad. I managed to PR the half marathon, but the full marathon, that just managed to avoid me by a good 2 seconds. I'll get it this year. I wanted to focus on running films and creating long-form content. Really happy with some of the films that I made, and man, I can't wait to make more. Crew, volunteer, and support more races. Man, that can be improved exponentially, so I'll be adding that to this year's list. I wanted to run one 100-mile week. 1 week where I ran at least 100 miles over the course of the 7 days. I got close twice. 94 miles, 2 weeks in the year. Didn't quite reach my goal on that one. Bow. Live weekly shows. Well, I can definitely check that one off. Ginger Runner Live was super successful this last year. Did live shows every single week, no matter where I was, starting from February on. So that one, I'm stoked to say that it worked. Qualify for Western. Didn't do it. That's because I didn't run any races that were actual Western States qualifiers. So unfortunately, that one I failed miserably at. But I've got some exciting news I'm about to tell you. And finally, make this my job. Last year, I officially made this my main focus and made it my job. Now, I'm not saying it's paying the rent, but it's definitely my sole focus, and I'm super excited that Ginger Runner is all that I'm doing at this point, creating reviews, doing films. I'm really excited. So on that note, let's create the list of 2015 items, goals that I want to set for myself and for this channel and for the brand, and let's see if we can accomplish them this year. I like doing this. I think this is going to be a good thing. Number 1, stay healthy and injury-free. That's a no-brainer. That was last year's number 1, and I have to make sure that I carry that over to this year because I have a bunch of races I'm really excited to tell you guys about over the course of this year, and I need to stay healthy and injury-free for them. That is important. Guess what I'm bringing back? The PR, the half marathon, and full marathon distance. Yeah, I'm going to add it to this year's list. I feel like I can increase my speed. This whole year is going to be about speed, so my goal is to PR both those distances. I was so close so many times on the full marathon last year, even though all the marathons were really used as training for the ultras, so I'm going to go back into this year and be like, let's just get those PRs. Let's just do it. This is a big one, and probably one that's probably the most unlikely. We'll see. Full-length feature Ginger Runner film. Whether that's following myself during a race or that's following an individual, I want to make something that's an hour to 90 minutes to 2 hours, something that is a cohesive film that you can sit down and watch and actually enjoy the full experience and not feel like it's too short or not enough information. I really want to go into the backstory and interview people and tell some longer story. I'm really excited about that. So that's a big goal, something I've never done creatively ever as a filmmaker. So that's a big one for 2015. Crew, volunteer, and help out at races more. I think all of us should do this. I think all of us should have some sort of volunteer in our schedule for this coming year. I think we need to give back to the community, and the volunteers at all the races are so helpful for everyone, and they're out there longer than you are racing, and that's something I want to do more of. Everyone can do more of that, so that's on the list. Guess what's also back? 100-mile week. I want to run 100 miles in a 7-day period. However, this year is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to count the fact that I'm signed up for my very first 100-mile race, and that'll hopefully take care of my 100-mile week. Oh, I'm very excited for that and terrified. I pooped my pants thinking about it. Just now. Live weekly shows. I want to continue with Ginger Runner Live. I want to bring on amazing guests. I want to interview people, talk about fitness and health and nutrition and all these things that go into our sport of running and cycling and endurance events. So Ginger Runner Live is not going anywhere. I'm stoked that it's doing so well and people are really enjoying it and getting a lot out of it. So I'll be bringing that back. Consistency. I need to be consistent with vlogs, with videos, with everything. Even the website. So that is a goal for myself personally, is to stay consistent and continue to create content. I want to create 4 new pieces of Ginger Runner gear. We did the buff last year. I want to do a new buff. I want to do t-shirts. I want to do hats. I have all these ideas. My goal is to create 4 new pieces of gear for you guys that everyone can get. So we'll see about that. And finally, I don't want to just make this my job, I want to make this my career. So I need to start planning out what's the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan. How can Ginger Runner grow, and how can I turn this into an actual legitimate business? That's my goal for this year, is to be able to pay rent. So that's kind of the goal. And so stay tuned, because it's going to be a really exciting year for me, and I know for you as well. In the comments below, let me know, what are your resolutions or goals? Resolutions is so, it's like, hey, I'm doing something wrong, I need to change it. Let's create goals. What are your goals for 2015? I can't wait to hear about them. Thank you for continuing to support what I'm doing. As I mentioned, this is something I want to do forever. So let's see how I can do that. I hope it works. We'll see you guys next time. I hope you're getting out there training hard, racing hard, and partying the hardest. I know I am. Follow me on all the social networks. That was fun. Goodbye.